Hello children, junior secondary school children, those who are studying computer studies. This is Dr. Murimbi. I'm here to present a tutorial on that is terminologies. Now when we say terminologies is coming from the word term, or in other words what we are saying is that these are words or the language we use in computer studies. So now, as you'll be taking on computer studies at junior secondary school, that is grade 8 and grade 9, you'll be encountering different terms which are specifically used in computer studies. These are the words we use terminology. We say terminologies. Now, to start with today, we are in this tutorial. We are going to look at terminologies like the word hardware. We need to understand the terminology which is called hardware. We also need to understand the terminology which is called software. We also need to understand a terminology which is communication. We also need to understand a terminology which says communication technologies. We also finally look at to understand a terminology which says data and information. So, in short, what we are saying is that terminologies, this is the language which is used in computer studies, just like in other subjects, for example, like business studies. You have got words like office etiquette. You have maybe like in a subject called history, you have got oral traditions. That's the language which is specifically used in that subject. Also in computer studies, we have got the terms which we use here. So now, to start with, we are going to look at the most pressing issue. And that pressing issue, it is what we call, or what we are going to look at as what is a computer. Now, to understand this part here, we need first to look at this picture here. This picture on the screen, you are able to see two types of computers. This computer is called a desktop computer. This one, it is called a laptop computer. Now, some people have mistakenly named these types of computers as maybe let's say somebody is found carrying this type of or a component of a computer, which I'm just trying to shake there with the mouse pointer. They'll say I found somebody carrying a computer, or what else? This is just a system box. Some people also have found people carrying this type of this part of a computer, where they'll say no, I found somebody carrying a computer, of which this is a monitor. So now what we are saying is that we need now to understand what is this computer. Now, to understand it nicely, we are going to go back to our work here, where we are saying a computer can be defined as a programmable electronic device. Now, when we say programmable, this word is coming from the word program. A program means it is a device which has been instructed to do certain things. And these things are what we call programs. That's why it is called a programmable. Now, electronic device, the word electronic comes from the word electricity. So this device, in other terms, for example, if we are teaching young ones, we use the word machine. Now, in computer studies at junior level, we use the word device. So, electronic device, we are saying this is a machine which uses electricity for it to operate. Now, that accepts data. Now, students or children at junior secondary school level should be able to understand a programmable electronic device that accepts data. Now, we need to understand what is this data. Data, it is the word which is so broad. Now, we need to look at it in simpler terms by looking at our work here. This picture tells us to say types of data found in a computer. Now, if you look at the four-arrowed shape here, it says data and information. On top here, we have got what we call text as data. This one means letters and numbers. Then we have audio or sound, that is music. We have video. Video means moving pictures. Then we have images. In computer studies, we use the word images, we use the word pictures, we use the word graphics. Mostly we use the word images or graphics, not the word pictures. So, these are the types of data we have, children. You need to understand. So when we say data, data is a big word which is so broad. And then under data here, we have got these words which are text. Then we have audio, we have video, then we have images. So now, we are saying a computer is a programmable electronic device that accepts text, audio, videos, and also images. And then it stores it. Then after storing it, it processes it and produces output in an appropriate format. Here, what they mean by saying an appropriate format is it does the work according to what the instructions have been set. So it will give the results according to the input which is there. That is according to a set of instructions or programs. So in this case, we are saying we can use either the word instructions or the word programs. Now, we need to understand first what are these instructions or programs. What we are saying is that instructions are a set. The word set means a group of steps. Instructions are a set of steps that tell the computer how a particular task is to be done. So this group of steps which are in a computer instructs a computer on how a certain task is done. Now, after defining what a computer is, and also we are looking at to say for this computer to work, it is programmed, it uses electricity, it accepts data which is text, video, then we have got images and audio. Then we are going to look at the types of computers we have. Already this side here we are discussed to say we have what we call the desktop computer and also a laptop computer. Some other types of computers, for example, like the PC, tablets, examples of computers. These will be discussed in the other tutorials which are to come for you children at junior secondary school level. Now, there's a word here which is a notebook computer. Now, this notebook computer, it is the other word for the word laptop. So instead of using the word laptop, you can use the word notebook. Okay, thank you. We are now going to look at now, after discussing the term what is a computer, we are going to look at one of the major components of the computer. Remember, there are two components of a computer, that is the software and the hardware. So now we are going to look at first the hardware. Now, if you look at the hardware refers to, or hardware means these are physical components. The word components here means the parts, components of a computer that you can see and touch, such as the keyboard, the mouse, the printer, the scanner, and the monitor. So now, to understand on the hardware, we are going to look at our pictures on the screen. Here we have got a good number of pictures which are showing us hardware. We have the keyboard. A keyboard is an hardware. The mouse is an hardware. The microphone is an hardware. We have the scanner here as an hardware. We have the digital camera as an hardware. We have the digital pen or stylus as an hardware. Then we have the touch screen as an hardware. We have touchpad as an hardware. Gaming. We have gaming controller as an hardware. Then we have the fingerprint reader as an hardware, which is connected to the computer. So all components which are connected to the computer are called hardware. Then we have the modem as an hardware. We have the network adapter, which is an hardware. We have the router, which is an hardware. Then we have the central processing unit as an hardware. Then we also have the monitor or display screen. The other word for monitor is display screen. We have got a printer, the headsets as hardware. Then we have speakers, data projectors, the hard drives as hardware. We have also then the CD, which is also hardware. We have the three types of CDs. We have the CD, we have the Blu-ray, and we have got DVD disc. Then we have also memory card or flash memory card discs, which are also part of hardware. And then maybe finally on hardware types, we look at the memory card reader, and also USB flash disk. Now, if we talk about the hardware or computer hardware is categorized in two. That is, there is internal hardware and external hardware. When we look at the internal hardware, we are looking at the components of the computer, those which are found inside the system unit. Now, if we look at our picture here, this picture is giving us something. So let us just zoom it a bit so that we are able to see what is there. Okay, I'm sure we are able to see what is there. So now we are discussing about hardware. We have the internal hardware. These are components of the computer which are found inside the system unit or system box. Then, for example, like we have got the arrows, which are with the names there given as CD, DVD drive, which is also found inside the system unit. The hard drive is found inside the system unit. The motherboard, which is the main circuit board, which is found inside the system unit. The power cord, which are supplying power throughout inside the system unit. We have got the ribbon cables. Then we have extra case. We have the sound card. We have the modem card. We have the video card. We have the fan there. We have the chip, the power supply. So now all these components which are inside the system unit here are called internal components of the computer. Because we are able to see and touch them, they are also called the hardware. Then we also have the components which are found outside the computer system. For example, if you look at the picture here, we are seeing, for example, like a microphone here. We have got the CDs, we have the speakers, we have the keyboard here, we have got the flash cards, we have got the USB flash drive, we have the router, we have the printer there. All these are external parts of the computer, which we call also as the external hardware for the computer. Thank you very much. After understanding that one there, then we need to look at it to say this hardware, it is in 5 categories. There's what we call input devices. These are devices or the components of the computer which are used to enter data into the computer. Then there's also what we call, this is input device. Then there's what we call output devices. These are devices which lets the user to see what they are doing on the computer. It lets the user to see what they are doing on the computer. That is output device. Then we have communication devices. These are devices which connects the computer of the user to the internet or on the network. Those are called communication devices. Then we have also storage devices. These are devices which a user uses for them to store their information after working on it or data on the computer or on the external media. Then we have what we call processing device, which is the central processing unit. So basically hardware, it is categorized in 5 categories of pupils at junior secondary school should be able to understand. That is input devices, output devices, then communication devices, then storage devices, and the processing devices. So now we are going to look at one after another on this hardware. The first hardware we are going to look at is a keyboard. As we mentioned to say, hardware are physical components of a computer that we can see and touch. So in our definition there, a keyboard is given, mouse is given, printer is given, scanner is given. So start looking at the keyboard. So now what we are saying is that a keyboard is an input device. So meaning that input stands for entering data into the computer. Device means that a machine. A keyboard is a machine which is used to enter data into the computer. Now what type of data is entered? Students, remember we talked about to say types of data which is found in the computer. We have text, audio, video, and images. So in this case, a keyboard, we enter text, which are letters and numbers, using the keyboard. So we cannot enter audio or enter images or enter video using the keyboard. Here is only text. Thank you very much, students. So we go on to say a keyboard is an input device that contains keys. Okay, these keys can also be called as buttons, but normally we use the word keys. That the user, in this case the user is a person who is operating the computer, that the user presses. Presses means you press them to enter data into the computer. So data, in this case, we are saying there are 4 types of data which is found in a computer. That is text, audio, video, and the images into the computer. Now we go further to say most keyboards have 101 to 105 keys on their keyboard. Then keyboards usually have a standard QWERTY, which is QWERTY, read similar to a typewriter. Now when we say a typewriter is an old machine which operates like, or up to this time there are some people are still using it. It operates like a computer. Normally it was used during that time when computer was not common to many organizations and to many people. So most like in Zambia, a typewriter was so common. So a typewriter has been replaced by the computer, of which we are able to use the keyboard. Then, so what we are saying is that this keyboard also has what we call a numeric keypad and also additional function keys for control purposes. Now we are going to look at the keyboard here so that we understand what are these parts of the keyboard. Now we urge children at junior secondary school level, that is grade 8 and grade 9 pupils, to understand the keyboard in details so that when it comes to do my practicals, you don't have problems. So now the law where I'm pointing my mouse pointer here, this is what we call the function keys. The function keys range from F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, F9, F10, F11, F12. Or in other words, that F stands for the word function. So function 1, function 2, function 3, function 4, function 5, function 6, function 7, function 8, function 9, function 10, function 11, function 12. Then the other part where I'm scrolling my mouse pointer here, this is what we call the numeric keypad. It is called numeric keypad because it has numbers. If you check properly on your keyboard, try to check on your keyboard, you discover that this part of the keyboard has numbers. So the word numeric key comes from the word number. Numeric key comes from the word number. Pad is the keys which are located here. We also have the navigation arrows or arrow keys, which are used to navigate in the word environment, and also when you are playing a game. We have the space bar there, and then there's this part of the keys on the keyboard here, where we are seeing that we have got QWERTY, which is QWERTY there, which is over like circle there. Then here we have letters and the numbers as text. Thank you very much. So we go back to our document. So what we are saying is that most keyboards are physically connected to the, so we are saying most keyboards are physically connected to the computer and therefore can only be used closely to the computer. What I mean is that hardware components of the computer can either be connected wirelessly or wired. Wireless means that this component is connected to the computer without a wire. It is using relays, for example, like the way Bluetooth work or the remote control works with the TV or the radio. That's how this hardware can also work with the computer. Without a wire, you can be able to operate the computer. That is what we call wireless or cordless. Then those with wires are where you plug a wire there and then the device will start operating. Thank you. Then we are going to look at the other hardware, which is called a mouse. Now, pointing devices minimize. Now the word minimize here means reduce. Pointing devices minimize the amount of typing a user in this case we are saying a person who is using a computer has to do on the computer. So now what we are saying is that a mouse is a pointing device that fits under the palm of your hand. This is how we are supposed to define what is a mouse. Okay, we know for sure that a mouse is used for pointing and selecting. But what we are saying is that it is a pointing device that fits in your palm. The palm means inside the hand. Inside the hand there, that is what we call the palm. Now, you can control the movement of the mouse pointer on the screen by moving the mouse on the flat surface. Now, on our screen here, we are able to see our mouse. This mouse, now if it is to go further, we need to look at what are some of the basic parts of the mouse. Okay, the basic parts of the mouse are that we have got the cable here which connects to the computer with the USB interface here. We have got the three parts of the mouse here, which is the right click, we have got the left click, we have got the scroll wheel here. So children at junior secondary school level, those who are studying computer studies should be able, or we are saying you have to understand the operations of the mouse. That is, for example, like double clicking, dragging, and scrolling of the wheel, that is scrolling the page up and down. So those are some of the basic parts of the mouse. We have the cable, the left click, the scrolling wheel, the right click, and then this is the part which you put in your palm when you are holding it. Thank you very much. So what we are saying is that you control the movement of the mouse pointer on the screen by moving the mouse on a flat surface. Now, there's a difference between the word mouse and also when you add the pointer. The mouse is a device you hold in the hand. Then the mouse pointer is what you are seeing on the screen moving. This is what we call a mouse pointer. The mouse pointer can take on many shapes, but is generally an arrow. So now, as we see here, it is taking an eye shape. This is eye shape mouse. Then as I move to the word environment ribbon here, you see the shape of the mouse changing to an arrow shape. So now, learners or students, we are going to look at many types of shapes of the mouse, which takes in the other tutorials we are going to be looking at in our lessons to come. So now, when the mouse is moved in a particular direction, the mouse pointer moves in the same direction. So what we are saying is that a mouse, you hold it in your hand, and then you start moving it on the mouse pad, and then the mouse pointer on the screen should move the same direction you are moving the mouse. So the difference between the mouse and the mouse pointer: the mouse is a device you hold in your hand, and the mouse pointer is the pointer you see on the screen, which is used for selecting and pointing. A mouse is used for selecting and pointing. Thank you very much. We are going to look at the other type of hardware, which is called the monitor. Now, in this case, we are saying a monitor is a display device. It lets us to see what we are doing. So now, a monitor is a device that displays. To display means to show. In simple languages, to display means to show. It will show us text, for example, like numbers and letters when we are typing, and also it will show us graphics. What are graphics? These are images or pictures. So when you have pictures on the computer, you will be able to see them using the monitor. Then also we'll be able to see videos. Then video is a moving picture, like we said in the first part on the types of data. What is a video? A video means that these are moving pictures. So now what we are saying is that a monitor is a device that displays text. Text, we now understand this is a type of data. Graphics, also this is a type of data. Then video, also this is a type of data. So generally what we are saying is that a monitor will display all the four types of data we discussed earlier. Now what we are saying is that LCD monitors, now the letters LCD stands for liquid crystal display. Liquid crystal display. Liquid crystal display monitors are flat panel displays that use liquid crystal technology. The size of an LCD screen is measured diagonally from the bottom left corner to the top right corner of the screen, known as the viewable area. Now, what they are saying is that when you are measuring the monitor, you measure in this angle. You learners check how I'm moving my mouse. You measure your monitor in this angle. This is what we call the viewable area, diagonally viewable area. So that's how you measure. You don't measure it straight like this. You measure it in a diagonal way, viewable area. So thank you. We move on. We look at the other part, which says the quality, that is, the word quality means good. the quality of a monitor depends on its resolution. Now, resolution refers to the number of horizontal and vertical pixels in a display device. So now, children, we are going to look at the word resolution in the tutorials which are to come. So what we are saying is that a pixel is the smallest unit of a digital image. Now, what we are saying is that we are also going to look at this one in the next tutorial, which we are going to be looking at, so that we discuss more on pixels under multimedia lessons. Then the higher the number of pixels, the higher the resolution, and the greater the sharpness and the clarity of the images. So students, the word resolution will be discussed further in the topic of multimedia, equally with the word pixel. Although you can take a research on your own to say what is a pixel using the Encarta dictionaries or Encarta software on your school computers. Then we are going to look at the other hardware which we are going to look at. This is what we call the printer. We are able to see the picture there. So now here we are saying a printer produces a hard copy. Now hard copy means a paper. After typing the work or after doing any project on the computer, then you decide to print out a copy. This is what we call hard copy. Physical copy or of a text and the graphics. Now children, we need to understand on something here. What we are saying is that we have got the father who is hard, then he marries the wife who is where they are going to have what we call the child called hard copy. Then children, we have also the father who is soft, then he marries the wife who is where, and then they are going to have the child who is called soft copy. So now when you look at these two terms here, hard copy means a paper which has passed through the printer, or the paper we are able to see and touch. That is a hard copy. Soft copy, this is the work which is inside the computer. We are able to view it or to see it, but you are not able to carry it or to touch it. That is the soft copy. So from the word software, we have a soft copy. From the word hardware, we have the word hard copy. Hard copy means a paper we are able to see and touch in our hands. So we go further. So what we are saying is that a printer produces a hard copy of physical component, physical copy of a text and the graphics. So now in our printers, we'll be able to print text. This is the type of data we discussed, that is numbers and letters. And then we'll be able also to type to print out graphics. We don't print out, for example, like in our printer, we cannot print out audio, we cannot print out video, but there are only two types of data which can be printed out using a printer. We can print images and also can print what text. So the type of data like audio and videos cannot be printed using the printer. So that's that over that one there. Then what we are saying is that the resolution or quality of a printer is measured in dots per inch, that is DPI. The higher the DPI, the higher the print quality. The speed of a printer is measured in pages per minute. So you this time now take a look at some printers. When they are printing, you look at your stop clock or your watch, you check on how it is moving. So now we have got examples of printers such as LaserJets, InkJets, and OfficeJet printers. So now children, we look at the last part in our lesson today. This is the central processing unit. The central processing unit, the system unit is a case or chassis that houses the motherboard of the computer. Now, for us to understand this one, we need to look at something like this. something like this for us to understand on the central processing unit, because some people say central processing unit, it is the system box. Now this time we need to understand in this way. So we are going to check on something here where we are looking at the system, the central processing unit. Central processing unit, is it in here, parts of the computer? So let's see first. Okay, we need to understand.
A desktop computer is made up of several basic parts, and in this video we're going to show you what these parts are and what they're used for. The computer case contains the main components of the computer. This is where the actual processing happens. Today, most cases are tower cases, which means they stand up vertically. Sometimes you may see a horizontal case, which is often called a desktop case. In order to view anything on your computer, you'll need to have a monitor. The monitor connects to the video card inside your computer to display images and text on the screen. Most monitors have LCD or LED displays, which can be made very thin so they don't use much desk space. To save even more space, you can buy an all-in-one computer, which combines the monitor and the computer case into a single unit. To interact with your computer, you'll need a keyboard and mouse. Keyboards come in different shapes and sizes. For example...
Okay, so we need to check on the other video where we are looking at the central processing unit. The central processing unit, okay. It's this one, I'm sure. Okay, the central processing unit.
You may already know that there are a lot of important parts inside a desktop computer, but what exactly do they do? In this video, we're going to take a look inside to show you the various components that make a computer work. Every computer has a large circuit board called a motherboard. This contains some of the most important parts of your computer, such as the CPU, also called the central...
So this is what we call the central processing unit, which is found inside the computer there. What is the other part which we are able to see here? This is what we call the system box, which houses various components or the internal parts of the computer we have discussed earlier in this tutorial. So the CPU or the central processing unit, it is just a small component which is found inside the system box. So now we look at our work here. So the system unit, we know for sure that this is the box, is a case or chassis that houses. Now houses means that this is where we find all the inside components of the computer, houses the motherboard of the computer. The motherboard, as we saw in the last video there, is the main circuit board of the system unit that forms a common link. Link means to connect between all the components so that they can communicate and work together. So this motherboard that is connects with the other components so that they can communicate together and work together. So now in this case what we are saying is that the central processing unit, which is the CPU, also known as the processor, the other word for the CPU or central processing unit is the processor, is found on the motherboard. So like what we saw in the board in the video there, this is found on the motherboard. The CPU is the main or is the brain. The CPU is the brain of the computer, which is responsible for processing data into information. Like what we discussed in our work here to say, if you look at the categories of hardware, we talked about the communication device, is it processing device. Under this one here, we need to discuss about the central processing unit, which processes data which is entered into the computer. So that's about the central processing unit. Now, What we are saying is that data and instructions are moved from the memory and extracted in the central processing unit. So now for today, children, we are going to end on the central processing unit. Next time we meet, we are going to look at, on the other tutorial, we are going to start looking at what we call the scanner. Thank you very much for having and attending this lesson for today. Thank you very much.